Alright guys, I've cut the music. Please let me know if there are any sound issues with my mic or with Seeker's volume. Just let me know. But it's time, guys. And it looks like, I'm cool with Winter being in here. You cool with it?
Oh, I have no issues against it.
Alright, awesome. Alright, let's get this started here, guys. Game 7 time. Alright, so our plan is I am going to be cheering for Lucky very actively in my casting, and Seeker will be cheering for Young.
Absolutely. This is gonna be like this is gonna be like total bias. Such unprofessionalism.
Total reverse bias. So it's weird. It's I don't know if it's canceling out or what. No, it's not. It's still totally unprofessional and awesome. But that is what it's come to, guys. I don't even know what's happening anymore because these games are so crazy.
All right, so we're gonna start off with some player introductions, starting in the bottom right corner. This Protoss player from Clarity Gaming is possibly the next best player in the world. If you guys thought SK Telecom T1 Rain or SKMC or Naniwa were like really good, talented players, you guys have no idea what you're talking about, because Yong is the next Protoss Bonja, and that's who is playing right now.
And his opponent, the undeniably handsome and incredibly skilled Red Zerg, with an amazing victory on that last map. He held that Immortal Sentry all in like an absolute pro, which is exactly what he is. Spawning on the left portion of Newkirk City, he is FXOpen eSports Lucky.
You know, Shane, I gotta tell you, I think you're crazy for rooting for Lucky, because you know deep down inside that Young is a better player.
I think only time's gonna tell, man. What we're seeing right now, so far I'm liking Lucky's drones. They're looking pretty good. He's got some good pairs on the close minerals.
No. Let me tell you something. If Young brought his probes over, Lucky's drones would not win. That's how superior Young is.
Ooh. All right, we're gonna take it to the probe drone fight now, are we? That was that was what we were talking about with that prediction for, I think it was our fourth game. That the very final game would end with, or the game would end with just probes and drones and reverse base switches and all that. I'm kind of sad that didn't happen. I guess I don't need to fear your psychic powers anymore, because it would have been completely insane if you miscleoed that.
My false clairvoyance. Yes.
Yeah, well, I would have been a little bit scared if we had seen Baneling Bust and DTs and all that jazz.
You know what? I'll actually let you in on a little secret about what happened. See, I predicted what was going to happen, and then, like, to freak you out even more, I purposely messaged Young and told him not to do that. Ooh, I told him not to go for DTs.
Here's what I think. I think Lucky is actually so amazing. He read your mind, your psychic predictions, and he was like, well, I can't let him predict that, because now it's just going to be too predictable.
You think...
He switched it up. I think it's all Lucky there, man.
You think that's how good Lucky is? You've got to be kidding. Okay, his name is Lucky. That means he has no skill to begin with. He's just a luck-based player. Young is young. Young is a young player. He's got tremendous talent. This dude's going places.
All right, that's true. It's hard to argue with that logic, man. But however, Lucky being a lucky player, skill can fail on you sometimes. Sometimes you're just a little bit too tired, something doesn't go your way. With Lucky, man, it's always going to go his way. And I think that's a force that I would rather have on my side.
Oh, man.
Oh,
you're kidding
all right.
me.
So far in this game, both these amazing, incredible players are somehow on equal levels. I can't believe that Young is keeping up with Lucky, but somehow everything is just fine. No units lost for either of these players.
Yeah, and, well, pretty standard right now, as Lucky's opening up 3 bases and Young opened up Forge, Fast, Expand. So, yeah, honestly, I gotta say, Shane, I'm a little disappointed we didn't see some kind of cheese, some kind of all-in. Like, it would have been really awesome to see that. But nonetheless, both players never really had a significant lead. Young only had like a 1-game lead this entire series.
Yeah, it's been incredibly back and forth, and it goes a lot to show between these two players and how just amazing the games have been so far. We haven't had too many abrupt ends. I think the one exception there would be the Entombed Valley game where Young marched up into Lucky's third. He had no way to defend it, but I'm glad. an all-in is exciting, but for a series to end with that, if a player cheesed and wins that way, it's not particularly exciting. So I'm kind of glad we're going into the macro game here. It's very fitting for our Game 7. And right now, Yong is going to be laying down a Stargate play, but, you know, with Lucky's fast Hydras that he's been going for and likely will go for again, I think he's got this in the bag.
Oh, you do you? Well, I'm not sure if you know this, but Yong is, like, probably Clarity Gaming's best player. This dude can pull off, like, the biggest comebacks ever, and even though right now he was never really behind, he is going to shock you by winning this game in the most unexpected, unprecedented way you can imagine, and he is going to make you eat your words.
Oh man, well, we got the Phoenixes being chrono boosted out. We could see some incoming damage from Yong. These last few games he's been saving up, getting those 4 Phoenixes and going for that magic number that kills queens. However, look at Lucky's brilliance here. As we've seen in the last every single game, actually, he's been getting that Overlord speed very quickly, and that makes the Stargate play a little bit less damaging because a lot of the times, okay, I have Spore Crawlers in my mineral line, I'm gonna scare away your Phoenix, you're not gonna be able to kill my queens or drones, but the Phoenix just go ahead and kill every Overlord on the map. Now in this case, with the speed coming out, Lucky's gonna be able to bring his Overlords home to safety, and that's gonna be a pretty big deal. It's gonna mean this Phoenix investment might not be as cost effective as Yong wants it to be.
Indeed, although, to be honest, a lot of the damage that Protoss players deal to Zerg players is, I mean, Overlord and supply blocking is a very big deal, but also another huge deal is when you pick up queens with Graviton Beams and kill them, because that prevents any more future injections, that prevents creep spread, you have to make another queen, you just lose a lot of timing. So Lucky has to watch out and make sure he doesn't lose queens. But then again, this is Yong we're talking about, and he's gonna pick off Lucky's queens like, you know, taking candy from a baby.
I don't know, look at that beautiful Spore Crawler placement from Lucky. He loses those gas drones, but the queen stands strong, quickly resaturates that. Not going to be the biggest disadvantage for him there.
Let me tell you how nice Yong is being. You see that red health Phoenix? He purposely let that Phoenix get to red health so that Lucky feels like he has a chance in this game. That's how generous of a player Yong is.
Here's the thing though, Lucky let it get away. It's super meta. He's gonna let Yong, and see, there it is, the red health Phoenix goes down because Yong knew that if he could lure him into a false sense of security, he'd be able to kill it. Yong is gonna get a pick up on that Hydra there, but it is a small price to pay for a free Phoenix there for Lucky.
Alright, so I guess we can both agree that Yong and Lucky are both generous players.
That's true. I can agree with you on that. I'll put that one down.
And we're not seeing a third base transition from Yong quite yet, but we do see the probe moving out now, so yes, he will be coming out. But Yong, instead of stopping with just a couple of Phoenixes, looks like he's going for a Sky Protoss, because we do see Void Rays on the way. And he's got a small number of Zealot Sentries, so we could be seeing Zealot Sentry, Phoenix, Void Ray. Maybe sort of a timing push from Yong.
Yeah, and I hate to admit it, but Yong is going to make a really good composition here. We saw the same style of composition on Ohana. However, Lucky's amazing Swarm Host play knocked it back very quickly. This map's a little bit different, though. Newkirk is quite large. Young's going to have a little bit more time to get a healthy number of Colossi and Void Rays out, and we're seeing Lucky is going for the Swarm Host play, and he's getting them out, starting with 3, he's getting the Enduring Locusts, and this is exactly how he took him down in Ohana, and, you know, if he gets this good number of Swarm Hosts up, which he almost certainly is, because he is Lucky, I think he's got it right here on Newkirk in just the same fashion.
Alright, do you see how, like, even... Okay, I'm gonna speak again on the generosity of Yong. He could be, like, dealing so much damage. He could be, like, picking up units with his Phoenixes, and then he could be, like, spawning and warping in Zealots and trying to take down expansions. But no, he's not doing any of that. He's being a very generous player and allowing Lucky to comfortably, you know, get his economy on track and then let him macro up instead of just killing him right here, right now.
It's a very generous move here. Oh, ends up donating a Phoenix, too. I think this guy's going to have a lot of tax write-offs.
Donating a Phoenix, this is how kind Yong is. This is why I love this guy. He's my favorite player.
Oh, and look at that.
Yeah,
all right.
He doesn't even think like Lucky is confident enough to win this game. So he's like, okay, here, take my Phoenixes. I don't even care.
We'll see what Lucky is able to do with these donations right now. His Swarm Host count getting up to 9. He's got 4 more in production. this is where it starts getting scary. When you get 10 plus swarm hosts, oh my goodness, Protoss can seriously be in trouble. The creep spread from Lucky is phenomenal. He is all the way across the map, almost into his opponent's natural right now, and if he can get these swarm hosts burrowed, it's going to be so hard for Yong to charge this position.
And looks like we might be having a big battle coming up soon in a little bit. The question is, does Yong have enough? And not really, because he is backing off right now. But actually, Yong is just trying to make Lucky feel like he has a chance in this one.
Yeah, overstaying a little bit there, donating a free few Hydras. He felt bad about those Phoenixes. He just wanted to try to even it up. But now with the Locusts backing it up, he's going to have to trundle through the time warp placed there by Yong, and it was pretty nicely done, but is it going to be too hasty? As the Locusts are going to start maneuvering, the creep spread is going to start moving forward, and Lucky is going to start sieging this third base with a vengeance.
Do you see how like passive Yong is being right now? He's just staying in the back, letting Lucky hit him with Locusts, sacrificing unit health for energy. Like this is how great of a player Yong is. He's like, okay, my opponent probably isn't feeling very confident, so I'm going to do all I can to make him feel good about this game.
And these Locusts are definitely doing quite a bit of damage, melting through those Zealots. There's hardly going to be a meat shield for anything now, but oh, a time warp from Yong is going to catch a few of the slow swarm hosts from Lucky. He's going to reburrow and start reestablishing his position, and you know, the further forward Yong moves, the more those Hydras are coming into play. The Mothership Core gets picked off.
And yet another generous donation from Yong. You see what I'm talking about?
He's definitely that kind of guy, man. So far, we look at the units lost tab, we see the Protoss has lost quite a few units in this game. The Swarm Host, a little bit of the Swarm Host very aggressive for Lucky. They really want to get in this fight, and unfortunately they're going to take huge damage. There's a good concave with Lucky's units, but Yong, with these 3 Colossi, he's actually doing quite well after all those donations.
Around, yeah, and Yong is slowly starting to force Lucky's army to pull back here. And he is losing all of his Void Ray, so there's that generous donation thing we talked about again. Let me tell you something, if Yong can't make it as a pro gamer, he has a career at Goodwill. He has a promising career at Goodwill.
Yeah, he'll be an excellent philanthropist. We see 16 Swarm Hosts in production for Lucky, and if these can get out and get burrowed outside the third base, then Lucky is going to have a very easily held position.
And the game is slowly progressing towards the late game stage, but the question is, are we actually gonna get there? Because Yong is constantly pressuring Lucky right now, and he has a scary, scary army.
Yeah, there's a possibility that Lucky could be losing this third hatchery. The Colossi hitting it from range. The Locust is going to be coming in here and doing the best that they can. But what do they have to back them up? 9 Hydralisks, which can't get anywhere near these Colossi. And there, the hatchery is going to go down. Stalker Colossus, just kind of the older composition we're seeing that's working very well against the Swarm Host Hydra that Lucky is pulling out.
And Yong is constantly putting on this aggression right now. He's not even backing off. He is trying to end the game right here, right now. Still moving forward, progressing forward with his army right now. And Lucky is trying to do all he can. But that is a very, very large number of Swarm Hosts from Lucky.
Yes, it is, and he's got these queens here dropping beautiful transfusions on all of them, but slowly everything is getting burned away. Colossi getting a little bit forward there for Yong. One of them might be donated. Yes, it does go back into the cash pool there for Lucky. And this is just such a tense fight over here at the third with that hatchery going down. It's looking pretty good for the Protoss player, but the Swarm Hosts, Lucky's hero Swarm Hosts, are finally going to push this army away, at least for the moment.
Yeah, and Yong realizing that he probably could end the game right here, right now, so he's backing off. He wants to give Lucky another chance to get back into this game. Man, Yong is just a really nice guy.
Yeah, he's messing it up, though. He's not prepared to give it away for free. Huge number of Stalkers out. The army right now is 29 Stalkers, 3 Colossi, a single Zealot, and Observer for Yong, and we have a 23 Swarm Host, 9 Hydralisk army with quite a few, or a couple of Vipers being mixed in here as well. And of course, we didn't get to see them in the one game because Lucky was able to take out Yong before they mixed in on Ohana. But now with these Vipers coming out, with their ability to abduct those Colossi into the Hydras, oh, this could be good.
Lucky made 4 changelings, and Yong only killed 3 of them. There's still 1 running around.
Oh full vision of the army. He knows exactly where to send these locusts. It's actually a huge deal. Look at this free damage being done. Looks like they're going to take out a couple of stalkers at the front lines, and they're just, again, going to slow down the push of Yong so that these Vipers can get out.
And Lucky is always constantly maxed out. Look at him, already at 199 supply again, while Yong is maintaining somewhere around 150, but it's just not enough.
Oh, we see the Abduct with the Colossus going right on top of the Swarm Host. It gets picked off very quickly. Only one Colossus left that has quite a bit of low health. The Locust trying to focus it down. It looks like they are going to get it. And now the Colossus count is at 0.
You know, I'll be honest with you, Yong, I was very proud of how generous he's being, but I think he's donating a little too much now. I think he needs to try to, you know, stop donating and win this game because, well, he is allowing Lucky to kind of, you know, take too much of a lead.
Yeah, and looking here, it looks like Yong hasn't transitioned out of the Colossus Stalker composition quite yet. He doesn't have Blink for his Stalkers. If you take a look at the Structures tab, do we actually see a Twilight Council? No, we do not. Doesn't have one in production either, so he's going to be going with pure Stalker Colossus on these 1-1 upgrades. But the more Swarm Hosts that get out, I mean, we already see how many on the map. 20 Swarm Hosts. Lucky is maxed out. He's got Vipers on the ground as well. If Yong can take down his hatchery and back off, then he can try to get back in here, and it looks like that might be just what he's trying to do.
Oh, by the way, Shane, I just got a private message from Yong. He said he's purposely trying to throw this game so that Lucky can feel good about himself.
Oh, okay. So I was wondering what was going on.
Yeah.
A little bit suspicious here.
Yeah.
We said, I don't know if that's true, because Young should have Zealot warped in.
But he said that, like, he didn't want Lucky, like, getting maxed out and have a huge bank, so he did snipe 2 hatcheries.
Alright, it's okay. That's what it was looking like, because he's definitely trying to limit the production of his opponent by sniping those hatcheries. And now, effectively, we have Lucky down to not even 1 mining base. There's almost nothing left in his natural. He's long distance mining because he has, you know, such an immaculate drone count that he's able to do that pretty effectively. But now it's Lucky's turn to push.
Yeah, all bias aside, guys, this is looking very dangerous here right now for the Protoss player because the Zerg player is maxed out yet again. Already pushing towards the Protoss' territory. He has sick number of Vipers that can just grab these Colossi. And things are looking very, very dangerous here for the Protoss player. This is a lot of army right now from the Zerg player. And now back to bias. Yong is actually just kind of letting Lucky back into this game because he doesn't want to win it too easily. And he wants to make Lucky realize that he actually had a chance in this series.
Yeah, that's what it looks like. And Lucky is actually popping out 40 Locusts at a time. Locusts are, well, they're essentially Hydralisks. And having 40 extra Hydras in your army is a pretty big deal. They don't move quite as fast, of course, but it looks like they're going to be coming to engage this army. Great Abducts from Lucky, going to pull a lot of these high damage units into the heart of the army. And, oh man, this is looking very good for the Zerg. Another Abduct is going to get this Hydralisk. It looks like, yes, it is, or this Colossus is going to go down.
At this point, I honestly think Yong needs to stop creating Colossi. He does need to create some sort of position, but it's not going to be enough because Lucky is going to take the game. Way to go, Yong! I applaud you for purposely throwing the game to boost Lucky's self-confidence. I applaud that.
What an amazing game, guys. That is going to be victory for Lucky. 4-3, taking that game there. It was really looking like Yong had it there. The back and forth trades were actually amazing. The Swarm Hosts were just, they didn't start being cost effective until he was able to get that great number out and he was pushed back into his natural, or his third rather, and when he lost that third it looked like it was so dire for the Zerg player from FXOpen eSports, but Yong was, yeah, he was just pushed back by the immense amount of Swarm Hosts, and Lucky used that momentum to get back. There was good hatchery sniping going on, but unfortunately just Yong did not have the tech behind the army meant to keep up with that late game composition, and the Vipers effectively made those Colossi useless.